With that said, though, let's welcome Benjamin Zulu to the show. He came and plopped on the couch and said he's ready. He's here, not holding back today.
I'm not holding
as
back.
we talk about whether we should be afraid about your boyfriend or your girlfriend's parents, and specifically maybe the mother, calling immediately you start dating. And one of the questions I had is like, what's wrong with that? But I think we're going to clarify maybe for dating. Let's look at it from both sides. When one is dating versus when one is married. What are the main issues for you?
All right, so let's start here. Fathers hardly concern themselves with who their son is marrying.
Okay, which is not the greatest thing.
We are saying the percentage of fathers talking to your fiancé, to their girlfriend, is small. The people who you should watch out for, we are not saying they don't, but they do, but the larger percentage is the mother.
Okay.
Usually it's the mother who is concerned, who is coming to her territory. That other woman who is marrying the son, who the son is getting married to.
Okay.
The moment you start dating and she starts calling you, there are several possibilities and none of them is positive.
Okay.
There's never a good reason
Okay.
for as soon as you start talking to a guy, the mother starts calling you. These are the possibilities. One, she wants to check whether you are controllable. Kama anaweza kukuingiza. If you can fit in her territory, in her pocket, if she can manage you.
Okay.
Okay? She wants to size you up, to test you out. Number two, she could be a domineering woman who has already gotten hold of the son and she wants to get hold of the daughter as well. The other possibility is this boy is incapable and suited for you and they were waiting for any girl to show any interest in her and all of them come quickly to arrest you before you change your mind. They quickly get you in the box. It's a
Like, tumekuwa tukingoja sana.
Yes, they know he can't. The moment you know him well, you run. So we are hooking all of us in.
Oh dear,
So many
okay.
times they act like they love you and all that, and it's like they're trying to assist the boy. So whenever you see those calls from mother-in-law to be or the mother to the boy, that's an alarm that there's something off. They're supposed to wait for the relationship to grow vizuri, then you're brought home. If you're brought home now, you start to develop a relationship. They're happy to, hey, welcome to our family. If you eventually you marry, there will still be, there's a relationship. This is your mother-in-law. We expect now there can be conversations and you develop a relationship. When you're married, it's different. But if as soon as you start dating, the phone calls start coming, run for the hills.
Run for the hills.
Flee. There's something totally off. If the mother of the man starts calling you,
But
knows
sasa,
something.
si kwanza ni huyu mwanaume ndio amepea number. Let's
Yes.
start there.
And why has he given it away? Something is off. You're being blindsided and hurried to get in.
Is there a timeline to this though? What if they've been dating for like 2 years? Are you talking about the first 2 weeks, 2 months? Or are we
Yes.
talking about like two years into this, they're still dating and then mother amepewa
I know.
phone number?
Let's mention this. Time does not improve relationships. I know guys who have dated for 12 years from 08.
Okay.
But the guy is in America, she's in Kenya, so they hardly meet. So time does not improve relationships. Other people have talked for 2 months, but it's very conk.
Sure.
They have gone deep. So we are talking about, you're supposed to listen to yourself. Is our relationship there yet? That's the question you're supposed to ask, because the relationships evolve at different rates. But you will know when it's time occasionally to hear from the will be mother-in-law checking on you. How are you, my daughter? It's been a while. That's healthy.
Yeah.
But if it's constant and they're trying to mine information or to ask things, unless there's an emergency case, they can't find their son, they're looking for her through you. That's different. But we're saying the moment you begin to receive calls and they're telling you we want to bring ng'ombe, we want to bring the bride price, tell your parents we are coming. That's what they usually talk to. That's what they're calling to say. When can we come? We are eager. We love you here and all that. I've had many girls, they tell me, I had doubts even before I married this guy. Why did you then marry? You know, his family was already into me. They loved me so much. They'd already brought now. So it's a calculated move and it has worked to trap many people.
So hiyo haraka haina baraka.
Haina baraka. But it also works if you're naive. There are many girls who are very innocent and they believe people are loving just like themselves. The people are honest. Those are the prime candidates for this kind of traps. So you're supposed to deal with this man and analyze him because he's the one you're going to deal with. And I hope Joyce one of these days we'll talk about, because currently I'm having parental interference, having to deal with parental interference a lot.
Okay.
Because today it touches on that. There are mothers who say they don't want a girl from a certain tribe. I'll not
And
bless
if you're
it.
still doing that in this day and age, first of all, shame on you.
Thank you. And you know, it's happening. I've had many girls who told me I had a very good guy, but he came from the wrong tribe. My parents would just not agree. I tell them, you don't let go of a soulmate. Even if you don't marry that person, you'll never be a child in that home again, in your family again, because you're no longer a child. Even today, just when you go to your home, you still feel like a visitor. You can never fit there back. What if they had prevented you from marrying whom you want? And they tell you, we only want this particular ABCD and prescribing. I tell them to never give up your soulmate because of the tyrannical powers of your parents. So here we're talking about interference by parents, trying to call, and try to put you somewhere or size you up onto something. You're supposed to resist it and expect them to communicate through your boyfriend to tell them, oh, by the way, my people said hi. That would be healthy.
Okay.
Than them coming direct to you.
Hiya. We're going to take a break, and I want to hear what you guys think about this topic here. 22999 once again is the SMS line. And when we come back, I want to turn the conversation also towards marriage, right? So, you know, there are some unspoken rules, like, you know, if you cannot call the daughter directly. Wengine nasikia ati mama anatuma groceries, but it's for the man alone. I don't know how people live. My goodness. But we want to talk about all of those things, and also talk about, you know, how soon should that communication start between, you know, your spouse and your parents. You know, how do you figure out if a parent is already overbearing? What are we supposed to do, Benjamin? How do we correct that situation so that our relationships are not at risk? All of that is coming up shortly after this break. Stay tuned. This is Full Circle with Joyce. Hey everybody, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce, and here with Benjamin Zulu. And we're talking about relationships. Specifically, you know, if you need to be concerned about, you know, your parents-in-law or potential parents-in-law talking to you now as the girlfriend or the boyfriend. Of course, Benjamin was saying, you know what, when that's in the beginning of a dating relationship, there's no positive outcomes from that one, is what you said. Either they're just trying to trap you really quickly because wanajua huyu mtu wake, mtu wao, he has a tendency of breaking things quickly, or it's just really negative in some way. I want us to turn that conversation though to marriage though, and specifically talk about there are maybe no like written rules per se, but how should one spouse engage with their parents-in-law?
There should be, first of all, the gap between a child and a parent. That parent is on the parental subsystem, really. They're like your parents. There should be that respect and distance. So there should not be, maybe that family is enmeshed. You need to check how they relate even before you come in. Maybe you're coming from a family where there were boundaries. We were friends, but there were boundaries. Then you find others, they are so much into each other. We said the other day that watch out if you're going to a family where maybe one parent is missing. It's a single parented family. You need also to check what kind of relationships exist. And Joyce, another time we need to say that when you're marrying a guy who is the breadwinner in the larger family, be very careful. They will scrutinize you if you're coming to cut their supplies. You're coming to interfere with the flow of the issues, you know. They'll be checking you. The only defense you have, whether the parents of the guy are how, it's the man himself. Is he protecting you?
Yeah.
Check whether the man, because many people ask me, oh, my mother-in-law is doing this, what do I do with her? My father-in-law? No, you have no relationship with those people. You don't have a contract of protection from the parents or from the siblings. It's the man who can protect you. So whether the parent is overbearing, or whether he's interfering, or whether she is a she-wolf, a she-bear who can tear everybody apart.
Okay.
And who tries to interfere, like the way you mentioned, some who send groceries from Ushago, but they say it's for the boy, the man alone. And yet you're married. You should
That's
ask,
crazy.
You should ask, is this man entertaining that crap?
Yeah.
It's the man who's supposed to protect you.
Yeah.
So sense early, if he's coming from a sick parent, is he himself strong enough to protect you? Because if he's weak, you'll have a misery. You'll be miserable. Never love so much that you forget to check whether this man can protect you against interference by the parents. Yeah.
How does one have that conversation? Maybe the guy just does, he's not even self-aware that, look, this is actually pretty messed up. How does one have that conversation for, hey, boss, by the way, I think your mother-in-law is kind of interfering in our relationship? How do you even go there? How do you begin that conversation?
Start it as soon as it comes. I find it rather unusual that your mom called me twice this week. You should bring it up and then discuss to him and tell him there is a dynamic going on among women which you might want to know. that although you are a man, let me introduce you to women thing. That family is a woman's territory, and the women want to check whether the woman who's coming in will be controllable. So I hear him out, whether he's willing to protect you. A good man will tell you, guess what? I will not allow anybody to stress you. You will come number one in my life. But at the same time, we said love is a choice, it's an emotion, it's a feeling, but that is a concept. You need to check whether this guy says my mother comes number one ahead of everybody. Never marry a fool talking like that. Go marry that woman then.
Guy, okay.
Why do you need somebody else if you already have your woman? And do you know, Joyce, there are women who, this man already has a woman in his mother. He's only getting you to get the children, but the authority, the woman in his life is the mother.
Yeah.
Really, you are a prop.
Huyo bado si mwanaume, ni mtoto wa mama.
Thank you. Be very careful with the mama's boys who are in the pockets of the mother, and all decisions are coming from the mother, all the choices are coming from the mother. You are here to bear children and you're almost discarded. You are a prop. Really, you are a honorary.
So mpaka apate hizo grandchildren, that's it. Your work is done.
You are a honorary wife. I've had cases like that where they just wanted children. They had no business with you. And many times they deceive you with the money, or they deceive with the generosity to get what they want from you. Read whether this man really wants, or whether he's able to individuate away from his mother. Don't come in if they're still enmeshed. You will suffer there. And don't engage the mother-in-law direct. Don't you start exchanging insults and exchanging blows or being a tussle. Never engage your mother-in-law. You have no business, you have no contract.
So akikukasirisha, you don't call the mother-in-law and report him?
No. You talk to the man. That's the man who brought you to the family.
The person you made your vows
He's the one
to.
who's supposed to protect you.
Right.
And I told people the other day, be careful when you live in the compound of the mother-in-law.
In fact, there's a question here like that. Let me just quickly try and find it. Someone is saying, hey Joyce, mine is worse because we live in the same compound with my husband's mom. Nothing I do is right. She's manipulative and doesn't like change. I have a son and I don't want my child to see what happens around here. What should I do?
Deal with
Please
your
help.
man. Deal with your man. You're describing the mother so much, and yet it's the man who married you. Tell the man that you're uncomfortable in this setting and what can he do about it.
But you know, Benjamin, a lot of the times here in this African setting of ours, we hear, as much as you're marrying, the guy or the lady, that you marry the family as well. Is that statement
You marry
correct?
into the family. You don't marry the family. You're marrying to the family. The man you're marrying is not an island. Neither are you an island also. I will have a relationship with your people just the way you have a relationship with my people. But our personal life should be sovereign, a self-governing unit. We should be us alone. If there's interference from one of our in-laws, the person, if it's your father, you're supposed to deal with him. If it's my mother, I'm supposed to deal with her. I'm asking this lady to confront the man and tell him, hey, I need my own space. I need my own space. And if that man cannot help you, don't engage this woman. You will lose the battle.
Okay.
Because she will get the man to be on her side. And you'll be alone on that other side.
Okay. Hiya. Hey, let me get to some more messages here. Someone is asking, hey Joyce, I'm Rachel and Jerry. My dad once told me that our tribe lineage has not allowed anyone to marry outside tribe. And if you do so, problems will follow you. I was scared because I'm dating a Kamba and worried about what will happen.
Let me tell you, thank you for bringing that up. Number one, when you submit to a Sikh authority, you'll be crushed. That is a Sikh authority. Even if he's talking about tribe lineage, times have changed. Those are colonial times. Today we go to the university, we mingle with many tribes. Today we are moving all over. We are global citizens. So your father is overstepping his mandate. Stop obeying. It's fear that is holding you back. His threat is empty. The Bible says that a curse that is not earned will not settle. Stop fearing him. Let's announce to women, sometimes by marrying, you have to break, your relationship with your parents will be strained. Prepare for that. You cannot pick your man and also pick your family. Sometimes you have to...
One has to be the priority.
You must give your family, your future family, the first priority. You must go ahead and marry the person you love. Don't leave a person you love because of your father, because he's not giving you an option anyway.
And if they threaten, now there are many people who are threatened, we won't show up to the wedding, we won't help with the expenses. And obviously that's a painful thing. It's a big day of your life and you want your family to be there. How then do you handle that when it gets to that point?
We are going to handle that, but one is diplomacy. The other one is hide and seek. The other one is bribery. You bribe who you need to bribe. Buy an uncle to convince mom, to convince dad. Pay this one. Buy another goat. You use diplomacy. You see, you're fighting against evil forces. Some women are stubborn, but if you give them money, they'll soften. Some fathers are stubborn, but they're broke. Give him 50K.
I was not expecting those.
You have to do everything. For that day, some will have to be escorted by the uncle and the cousin, the other one, the friends. Get him in a friend. You use all the tactics you can to make the day work, but never say goodbye to your lover because of the stubbornness of your family. Another thing is, you can step down the size of a function. If you wanted a very flamboyant, and suddenly demons have come up with horns saying we want to show up unless you marry from our tribe, make it cut it down, make it a small one.
And even talk to your pastors, because I think many pastors would be willing to understand that, and they might even carry on with the wedding.
That's what I was saying. I was saying, actually,
provided if the issues are like legitimate issues like this, and if it's something like tribalism, right? As long as the person is not underage, I don't think most pastors would have
You will
issues.
marry. Your parents are not required for the wedding. We are just saying for your own happiness. You only need witnesses, and your parents are not required. So if you really need them for that sense of it's my day, take money and mobilize resources. You can win. I've seen people who have won.
Haya. Mwingine anasema, that happened to me. I ran when the family loved me more than the man.
Thank you.
15 years later, I know I dodged a bullet. Wow. The family loves you more than the man. That's interesting. That's for sure a very bad
They know
side.
their son more than you do. The only call I would entertain from the family of the girl I'm marrying is when they're warning me. Be careful, you're hooking up with our girl and she's sick.
Come on. Mwingine hapa in fact says, hey Joyce, I'm Ivy. I was a victim of being blackmailed by the parents-in-law. So that I could stay with their or misbehaved son. Guy.
To continue raising a badly raised son.
She says, thank God I ran for my life. I just realized it was all fake. Wow.
You are undertaking a failed mothering project.
Wait. Mwingine hapa anasema, I don't think in-laws to be calling me is an issue, not unless the call is to ask me to break up with their daughter. Don't wait until you marry their daughter. It is when you're okay with them calling you, keep close.
That's a man talking, and we said
It is a
for
man
most
talking.
men it's not an issue. But if the mother also tries, like ni kama ana campaign, is like she's campaigning for the daughter, I'll know there's something she's trying to cover up for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mwingine hapa anasema, slightly unrelated, but I'll ask it nonetheless. Hey Joyce Omondi, always loving your show. My question is, if you meet a man who wants to marry you in 3 months' time, I love this type of questions. Mi nashangaa wanaume hutoka wapi. Anyway, if he wants to marry you in 3 months' time, tumekutana tu juzi. You want to marry me tomorrow? How? Anyway, and he says he's been married, or she says he's been married before for 4 years, and they parted ways because of infidelity from the wife, though. That's Lisa watching us from Annex.
You should confirm whether the wife has another story which you don't know also. Because the man is telling you only what will favor him. And why is he in a hurry and you are not? So he's in an emergency. He has a deadline to marry in 3 months. And he is now, after today, we have now 89 days. We had 90 days, now they're 89. So listen, unless you yourself, you'll have enough time within those 3 months to study all you need to study. Another thing you need to know, where is the deadline coming from? Will you be dying in 4 months and you need to leave a wife in the house? So the thing is, don't allow people's disorganized life to become emergency for you.
Okay.
Marriage is lifelong. Why would you want to jump in 3 months? What if it's a mistake? Sometimes people rush you so that you don't have enough time to find out information. Let's warn people that the first sign that you're marrying a manipulator, being blackmailed, is a narcissist, an abuser, is being rushed. All con men work quickly. If they call you, they want to respond quickly. Send now. How much can you send now? And he had asked for 50K. Now he's bargaining for 500. You know it's a con man when they're in a hurry to get results. So even in relationships, it's a con game if you're being asked to act now.
Oy.
Slow things down. Sometimes you can save yourself from hell by just slowing down.
Ati tumetoka 50k to negotiate 500.
500.
Hey, okay. Hey, Joyce. I once dated a guy who always listens to his mom. We loved each other, and he told me he would choose me always. But one day, his mom told mine to choose who he wants, and he ended the relationship. Usicheze na mother-in-law, and mind you, we were family friends.
Thank you. You also dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
If you ended the relationship, be happy. You were sad that time for being left, but shida ilijitoa. Problem removed itself. Yeah.
Good morning, Madam Joyce. It's a very essential discussion that we discussed today. But what I can say is let the parents leave their boys alone to choose a partner or their children that he or she may want, because some parents don't want their boys to be married. That's Vincent Mukwa from Taita Taveta.
Remember, by a son marrying, the parents are losing something. Remember, there's a practical loss. Many of them are debating. They are losing some. You're moving to another woman. You will not be as available as you
You know
were.
the priorities are shifting.
Thank you. So
Right.
priorities are shifting, and we are saying you're supposed to check whether your man is ready for that. And we say the other day, women tell me, but I love him. Your love is not a magical spell that will change him. Check whether he still has enough character, strong character enough. Yeah.
Okay. So even for those who are married, if your parents-in-law are still making the decisions in your relationship or still driving decisions, that's a big no-no.
That's a big problem because they're interfering in your life. They're asking, we gave you this amount of money. What did you do with it? Your girl is wearing too expensive clothes. They'll start meddling.
Okay.
So we say the one no-go zone is unless in special cases. We know cases where people live in the same compound, but you are essentially independent. They don't interfere. But when two women are cooking in the same kitchen, using same bathroom, there is problem about soap. Who put this soap this way? Where is my, I said in this house, this basin should put this way. Who left this water unwiped? Why is this? Who did not sweep? I said. So you'll be intimidated. You'll have come too much into the space of that you cut ugali wrongly. The ugali was supposed to be cut this way. Even our slice of bread here,
ugali.
they're supposed to be triangle. You cut squares. That's wrong. So you'll have petty rules there. As much as possible, have your own compound. If the compound is impossible, have your own independent space.
Okay.
Where we meet as a family when there is need. But there are families where the family gathering in the evening is mandatory, and the son must come with all their wives, and all of them are under a tyrannical rule. Study those things before you go in and decide whether you can put up with them.
Yeah, I know we're chuckling about these, but these are also very serious and real issues for a lot of people. And so as we're saying these, I want to trust that these are things that can be resolved. Right?
They can be resolved.
This is not, a do or die situation where it cannot be resolved.
If the man
absolutely can be resolved.
stands up and both of you agree, hey, we need to create our own space. Actually, by working together, all things are resolvable.
Right. And to choose each other and to always put each other
to prioritize each other over
because it's
everything
the same
else.
way too with the girl and her family. You also need to make sure that your husband is...
Especially first daughters. They carry their family with them. So I'm leaving the two families now. You even know the chicken that died at home due to cold.
Where Benjamin Eburudi quarantine. Asante sana kwa kukuja.
Okay, my social media.
Yes.
I know you're chasing me. All right. My social media is Benjamin Zulu KE. Facebook page, Benjamin Zulu KE. Email, benjaminzuluke@gmail. Or other social media platforms, Benjamin Zulu KE.
Thank you, Benjamin. Always a pleasure. And
Back to quarantine.
You didn't come to play. But sasa wacha tukurudishe tu urudi quarantine.
All right.
Until next time, ubarikiwe sana. With that said, guys, we're going to take a short break now. And when we come back, we'll be bringing you our fitness segment for the day. Stay tuned.